Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, I think they stand at, I think they're 13-4, which is a very good record. Um, Sometimes the Cleveland Cavaliers have a tendency to become lackadaisical during the regular season. That would explain why sometimes they can be 53-29, but play like a 60-win team, or But and of course, lately they've lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. They have a two-game losing streak. They lost to the Milwaukee Bucks the other night. They got blown out at home by the Los Angeles Clippers, and tonight they play the Chicago Bulls, and that'll be a back-to-back game. So who knows how that game is going to turn out? Being a Bulls fan, I hope we beat that ass. But I have to ask this: do any of you guys think that LeBron James is starting to fall off as a player individually? Now, this is the thing. And I got to say this because I want people to understand what I'm saying. When I say a player is falling off, I don't necessarily mean that all of a sudden, this isn't Space Jam, where all of a sudden he's just garbage. No. What I'm saying is that, do you think that his ability to play consistently on a high level, day in and day out, is slowly eroding? That he's still an all-star and a superstar kind of player, but the nights where he's off are starting to increase a little bit more. The nights where he just can't dominate a game the way he once did are starting to creep up a little bit. I mean, statistically, he's still solid. From what I read, I think it's 23.7 rebounds, 9 assists, which is a career high, on 49% shooting, I think. 35% from beyond the arc, 70% from the foul line. I wish that was higher. But to me, there's signs that he's ebbing as a player, as far as his supremacy. For a while, I say from 2009 to about, I guess you could still technically say now, but for a while, it was unquestioned that James was the best player in the league. I say especially until like 2 years ago. Okay, I think personally that James hit his peak as a player with the Miami Heat. Okay, even though he led the league in scoring when he was with the Cavaliers, I think as a player, the way that he played the game, every facet, the way he dominated on defense, his unbelievable efficiency as a player, the way he actually seemed like he was improving as a post player. I thought he was at his best when he was in Miami Heat. Since he came back to Cleveland, he's regressed somewhat. He seems to have a harder time than he used to getting his shot off at times. At times now. Certain things just regressed a little bit. I think he's even regressed a little bit defensively. But he's still one of the best players in the NBA, if not the best. But I just think that the gap has closed somewhat. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Michael Jordan, it's the guy who's always compared to. It kind of reminds me a little bit back of Michael Jordan, 1997. That's the first time that I really noticed a decline in Jordan in any way. Well, actually, I take that back. 96, the first full year after his first retirement, I could see that he wasn't the same guy. But he still had a phenomenal season. But you could clearly see that he was closer to the pack, to everybody else, than he was before. And by 98, that last year he was with Chicago, I could clearly see that he had declined as a player to the point where, he was probably the best, but it was possibly even debatable whether he was the best or whether maybe Grant Hill may have been a better all-around player. Like before, it was no question. It was Jordan and everybody else. I think right now, if there's a guy you can parallel to also, it's Kobe, because like Kobe, LeBron James didn't go to college. He came straight out of the NBA, so he has more years of wear and tear on his body than a typical 31-year-old, soon to be 32-year-old. All right. Kobe, to me, started falling off as a player, definitely, I'd say around 2000 and, although I could see signs of it as early as 2009-ish, I think it really accelerated maybe, I'm trying to go by memory here, 2011 maybe. And at that time, that's when Kobe was, 32, 33. So that's about where it's a little bit older than what LeBron is right now. So my thing is, okay, for LeBron James, I've always wondered if he's going to be like the typical guy who just deteriorates after age 32, 33, and it becomes progressive. And by his late 30s, he's just, a shell of what he once was. I don't even know if he's going to play that long. Or will he be more like Karl Malone? Well, Karl Malone, who I'm going to do a video on later on. I did a video earlier, yesterday, but I was having some sound problems apparently. Karl Malone was an effective player for a very long time. Karl Malone won an MVP award when he was in that abbreviated 98-99 season. Karl Malone won that award when he was, I think he was 35 years old. So, we'll see. But in closing, do you think that LeBron James is starting to deteriorate as a player? Is he declining?